everyone, it is me, Train, and now for the one that I've been dreading, the Gus and his dad, Perry, as the Blight family in this AU. So first off, we have Perry, who I was absolutely dreading, because Perry, he's just barely a character. He appears sometimes, he's like the news guy. We don't know anything about him other than that, like, he seems to be a pretty loving father. I don't really know much else. So I had to get really creative for this one, and that took a lot of work. So for what I decided to do for him, since we basically know nothing about him, we know that he is a reporter, and he's reporting for the Emperor's Coven, and like, what would something like the Emperor's Coven probably like? They'd probably like a lot of propaganda, so he'd probably help with doing that in this version of the AU, to take like one of the more antagonistic roles in the series. He wants to keep Gus away from his friends in like escaping expulsion because of either like believing some of the stuff that he spreads around, or because he doesn't want him to get in legal trouble with the Emperor. Maybe. I don't actually know if it's an Emperor yet. I'll get back to you guys on that one when we do the Emperor's Coven Part 2 on the polls. While he is a loving father in this version of it, he's antagonistic in like the other ways of trying to get the friends away, thinking that they're bad influences, and putting too much pressure on Gus because Gus has these amazing illusionist abilities which would probably help going into the sort of like career that his father has in a very similar way. So while he encourages his son to try and meet his full potential, he puts a lot of pressure on him for his very, very young age, making him think that he has to be the best or he isn't any good at all. So I gave Perry this almost the exact same outfit, like the exact same outfit as the one that he wears, but I changed it to purple, both because there's a kind of like Alador and Adalia's colours, but not just because of that. It's also because, like Adalia, Perry was also in the Oracle track when he was in school, which we can see in like the photo with all of them, which makes me think, were they going to make Perry more of a character since like he was there? He was a friend of Darius and Ida and Rain and stuff, which is actually really, really interesting when you start to think about it, because like in the thing where it shows all of their friends when Ida's about to go like sacrifice herself again, he's there, and that makes me feel kind of disappointed that we didn't get as much of like everything as we could have. As I was saying, most basically, Perry will, like Camilla did, fill the role of both Adalia and Alador, being the one, like, the antagonistic type role in Adalia, with, like, trying to expel some of the students, and not believing the kids when they come to them about the Day of Unity, except Adalia actually did believe them. He'll like, his behavior in not stopping will be similar, but he doesn't think he'll be royalty in the new world and do it for whatever's going on with Adalia. Like, seriously. It feels a bit mean to compare anyone to Adalia, to be honest. He also fits the role of trying to fix the relationship with his son as a parent who has made a lot of mistakes. There we have Perry Porter as both Adalia and Alador Blight. As we next go on to Gus, specifically Little Gus because it's season 1, as Amity. I gave him this cloak because I thought it would make him look small but also look kinda cool and magic-y. I don't really think it did that. I think it looked a bit too like Emperor's Coven and similar outfit underneath, but like I tried. Gus will be a very talented illusionist, like in the show, who moved up quite a few grades, but in this he's feeling a lot of pressure to try and be as great as possible. The standards for him are the expectations for him are very high, and he doesn't want to disappoint anyone. Like I said earlier, he's from this started thinking that if he can't be the best at something, then he's no good at all. What good he does doesn't really matter if he isn't the best, which fits in a little bit to his antagonistic role. He, as someone who has moved up a lot of grades, wasn't able to have a lot of friends, and a lot of people didn't like him, and he was under a lot of pressure, so he started looking down on people a bit, especially Hunter. Hunter, who, unlike him, who moved up grades, Hunter moved down grades or was kept behind grades. So he internalizes that his old friend is something that he should fear for himself, that he should be scared of being. I feel bad for this Gus. He's so little, he's so sad, and I'm really happy that he ends up getting to get better when he ends up making friends with all of them, and becoming good friends with Willow, who's the protagonist of this AU, and becoming friends with Hunter, and to some extent Luce. And I was watching the Through the Looking Glass Ruins episode, and that had so much friendship potential for being like really, really good friends, even more so than we see like in the whole of season 1, and it makes me sad that we didn't get to see more of it, because like I think a big part of the reason why Gus didn't get too much development after that is because his main thing was in a cut storyline. His main development was probably to do with the Golderstone storyline that was going to happen, which ended up being cut, which is sad. All Gus fans, sadness time. Because although Gus might not be my favourite, I love Gus. He's so cool, and that's why for ages the Through the Looking Glass Ruins episodes was one of my favourites. I didn't even realise, because I was outside of the fandom, that people like mostly just liked it for the Lumity stuff, because like the only thing I saw in that was kind of just the end, and it wasn't that much. I was just very invested on what was going on with Gus. Anyways, so there's Gus, and I'm really happy with him. I'm not too happy with his design, but I love how his story went. I love him. He's so... I can't wait until I get to draw him happy and with friends. That's gonna be nice. So there we have the Gus and Perry Porter of Willow's AU. I desaturated Gus's cloak a bit because it was a bit too saturated, and if you like this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and please comment, please.